Good morning,
Morning.
evening, morning. Your morning, my evening. I'm like, I don't even know what time it is right now.
I mean, it feels like evening because it's so early for me.
And Jenna, if you can add everyone, that would be awesome. We'll give it just a few moments for the people to get notified and arrive. Thanks, Jenna. Wow, what a busy day today I've had for a Sunday. Like back in the back in the world, in the wild, wild world of network marketing.
So much fun.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited that you're here. I know everyone has been really looking forward to this. I've had so many comments about this particular session, so I'm very
Yay.
excited. And how are you? How's your weekend been?
Good. Good. We had of course last night we had a surprise party, so it's out a little bit later than usual. And I'm like, okay, I have to be up early. Time for me to go home. Bye. We had a good time, so it was good. It was nice to get out. It was good.
Nice. And now you're rising and vibing, I'm sure.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Okay. So as always, if you are watching in the Facebook group, you are more than welcome to come join us on the Zoom. The link is there in the Facebook group in the featured section of the group. So if you prefer to join live on the Zoom, that's great. And if not, and you just want to watch in the Facebook group, that's amazing. For those of you that are on, let us know where you are watching from. And if you are here on the replay, give us a hashtag replay and let us know where in the world you are dialing in from. And we'll kick off in about 1 minute. We'll give it one more minute. Hey, Lala. Hey, Michelle.
Just want to say, I can see the comments now. Feel good. I like to be able to see the comments.
I can't actually grab the link right this minute, but if you go into the Facebook group and just go into the featured section, the link will be there. Hey, Audrey in Texas. Amazing. Okay. Well, this little group, it just continues to grow and grow, which I'm loving and I'm super excited about for putting this together kind of last minute. It's been really epic so far. And we had an amazing session, the last session with Barb, and I'm so excited to be joined by Miss Marina Simone tonight, who's going to be sharing all kinds of goodness with us. But she has really, I mean, made a massive change in her life over the last several months, and has gone all in and said yes to this opportunity. But and I know that you're going to share a little bit about this with us, Marina, but holy wow, the explosion of this team inside this company is, I mean, I'm totally blown away with what I'm seeing inside your group. And I feel so honored that I get to be a part of this. But tell me, like, what has it been like for you to experience like this kind of growth and this, like, it's like organic growth so quickly?
I love that you said the organic piece of it because I think that's always the most important piece to talk about, you know. And for those of you that don't know me, hi, I'll get into my story and all the things, but I love how quickly you put this together and how many like people are showing up for this. Like, you're incredible. Let me just like for me to put an event together is usually like a week, 2, 3 weeks in a process, and watching you just literally make this happen, incredible. Like, hands down, Leah's the MVP. Let's just put that out there, like, for sure. um Watching the growth, the organic growth that's happening has truly been magic, honestly, magic. I'm not one for to be hypey. I'm not a hype person. I've never been like the girl that's like, yeah, like hyping from stage. I'm very like black or white, like this is how it is. There's no gray area. I'm a red, and to be able to actually step back and step back from the outside and look at the growth that we're having and look at the who that's growing. That's been magical for us. Most companies just acquire leaders and that's how they grow. Most companies acquire massive influencers and that's how they grow. And one of the goals that we had when we decided to, come here and when I decided to make Frequence the actual place to be is I wanted a place where truly everyone felt like they were a part of something, whether it was the community, whether it was the mission, whether it was the money, whether it was the movement, whether it was just the products. And because we've created this rise and vibe mentality and this rise and vibe basically process where we all do every day, we've baked in organic growth where people feel so good. I've got the shirt on now, feel good now, right? Like people feel good now and they're talking about it. And so we're having this massive organic growth because when people feel good, they do good. And then they talk about feeling good. And that's been incredible to watch is one, we've had people that have done this type of marketing before that have never had success and they've got commas in their checks. We have people that have done this forever and they're like, this is so different. It feels effortless. Like I'm not dragging people, to take a look. And that's been the magical piece for us is that we've had this piece of the growth. Yes, we're busy, we're slammed, we're growing, but it doesn't feel forced. And that's been one of my favorite parts so far.
I was honestly just shocked today. I mean, it just feels like there's so much fluidity and so much flow. Like when I got in my back office today, I was like, wait, what? I just advanced 2 ranks. Like I had no idea.
Yeah.
And it's just so much fun. So
Mm-hmm. I think that's the biggest piece too, is just like, people want to feel good and people want to have fun. I don't know about you, and I don't know for those of you that are watching, but anything that feels like a job or a task for me, like I repel it. Like I'm allergic to rules and I'm allergic to bosses. And so whenever I have that feeling where I feel like something's forced, I don't want to do it. And so I love the fact that we're all having fun here. It's been awesome. It's been really fun.
amazing. Well, I'm going to turn it over to you because I know that you have some things that you want to share with everyone. And I am excited to learn from you and to hear all that you have to share with us and to hear a little bit more about your journey um, to making this decision
Yeah.
and how that's been for you since. And, one of the things that I'll just say before I turn it over is that, how you have navigated the situation that you are navigating right now with your former company and this company and the incredible like integrity and authenticity and vulnerability that you've shown while you've been going through this process was one of the main reasons why I felt so comfortable and so confident to like fully energetically back my decision and this choice. Obviously, the mission and the vision with Barb and just everything that the company stands for and the alignment with my 7 Streams movement, but really seeing how you're navigating this kind of old paradigm of network marketing. It's just really like inspired me. It's been so refreshing. And I love everything that I see that you stand for as far as advocating for your team members. And also just that idea of like, you get to choose what makes you happy. And you get to choose what's in your highest and best good. And I just have to say, like, I've been blown away. I admire you so much. I think that you are so incredibly courageous. And I'm just honored and excited to be on this journey with you. So
My God, I
with
love it. You're amazing. Like seriously, like when I sit back and I think and dream about the type of person that I want to work with, it's you. Like my word was connect for 2024, and just you and the team that you've been bringing on and the people that you've been bringing, it's the alignment is insane. It's insane. And that again is that magic that's organic when you have something that we have. So thank you for having me. I'm excited to share my story. I don't think, you know, the biggest part that I hope that you can get from my story when you're hearing me talk is that I was just an average broken person when I started in this industry, like average and broken. My background and not even my background, because the way I was raised, my mother in education and raised in Catholic schools and all the things, like I chose to go a completely different route than the way I was raised, and chose a really hard crowd to hang out with. So for me, working in the bars, working in the club scene, I just never thought getting a job would ever work for me because like I said, I had this allergy to bosses. And until I got pregnant with my now almost 14-year-old, I was living the fast life of like fast cash, fast money, bartending, working in clubs. Then all of a sudden, here comes this baby, and I'm like, oh, I can't do that anymore. And so I got a real job and was chained to a cubicle for way too long, in my opinion, because I thought that's what I was supposed to do, right? Like I can't work here, so I got to go here. And I remember just feeling empty, just doing the paperwork, doing the stuff, third party company for Amazon that I was working in. But it was that moment for me when I got a text that I missed my now 14-year-old. I missed my daughter take her first steps. And that for me was that moment of, I felt like a failure. And then I started like forward pacing and thinking about what are all these other moments that I'm going to miss in my daughter's life because I'm chained to this cubicle. And I remember I got super emotional and I literally like was about to cry, and my boss comes up and throws like 3 new packs of like paper, like stacks like this big of like stuff to put in for the next day for purchase orders. And I remember just looking at her, and she could see like the frog in my throat, like she could see that I was about to cry. And she's like, what's wrong? And I was like, oh no, I just for first steps, like I would love to just leave on time today, not work overtime. And she was like, no, I need you to put these in now. Like no Karen did not care, right? Like there was just how to get this done, whatever. As a CEO now, like I can understand like where she was coming from, but I didn't like that. Like that was so horrible for me. I felt alone. I didn't feel seen. I felt not valued at all. And I remember driving to go pick up my daughter from daycare and just bawling. I was always the first one to drop her off, the last one to pick her up. I always had to pay extra because she was there an hour or two, later than she was supposed to be. And I wanted something different. I just didn't know. It was like, okay, do I go back to bartending? Do I go back to fast cash? Like, what do I do? And so, um, that's when I started looking for an answer. I didn't know what the answer would be. Definitely did not think network marketing was going to be the answer for me at all. Um, but a good friend from high school picked up the phone, called me, was brave enough to pitch me this opportunity back in 2011. And it's crazy because like I think back and I'm like, I said yes because of the money, but why I stayed has nothing to do with the money, which is the best piece of it. But I saw money. I was like, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna make money. This is it. Like I'm gonna, be home with my kids. And guys, for 2 years, I didn't make any money. I was spending more money than I was making. I was going and driving 3 hours to meetings and no one was showing up. I would present with whiteboards with Anaya, that's my now almost 14-year-old, on my hip, right? Like I would present with her, and I'd be presenting most of the time to people that were already in the company. so because no guests were showing up, and no one supported me and my family. And it was rough. I remember at one point too, I talk about this. I'm like, I was passing out DVDs with my phone number on the back at gas stations to random people as a single mom back then. Like, what is wrong with me? Here's my phone number. Watch this and then hit me up with my phone number, right? Like, we don't have to build that way anymore. And that's powerful, because if I would have known what I know now about social media and about online marketing, I totally believe that I could have found success a lot faster, because I could have found people that were just like me, moms that were just like me, that were chained to a cubicle and wanted to get away from it. And so fast forward, I didn't find success until 2014 when I started using social media marketing. And then within our first 90 days, we built a team of 5,000 in 2014. It was insane. But I want to fast forward really quick to where we are now. 2024, we did 6,000 in 60 days. That's the power of building your network, having relationships, and it's the magic of the alignment that we have here. It's been a rough road. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's definitely been emotionally, it's been a roller coaster. Whenever you leave to start over again from any kind of career or business opportunity, you kind of feel like you go through a divorce. You've got some people that stay on this side, and then you got some people that stay on that side. And it's been emotional. It's been an emotional journey, but I will say that it has been one of the most peaceful transitions when it comes to the support from Barb, from corporate, from others in the field that don't even benefit financially from us, that have just been open arms. It's been an incredible magic moment that has created more magical moments for people that have never had them before. And so I just want to talk a little bit about, why I walked away from almost seven figures to start over again from scratch. Because I think it's important to know that I did not need to walk away to start over. Like, I was good. Like, I was sitting on residual. And I have my brand, if you can see in the back, Moms and Heels. And that's my multiple seven-figure branding company. And so that's like my brick and mortar, I call it, right? Because that's my other stream of income. And then, of course, we have other streams of income. So for me, this was not about, I want to make more money when I made the decision to move to Frequence. Like, that wasn't something that I was thinking about at all. I got a call from Barb, and this was late December, asking if I would come on board to brand the company. Like, help with branding, help with the compensation plan, help with finding like what's that duplication that's going to happen, and how could we make this different? Meaning, how could we make this a true affiliate model that has the benefits of a network marketing company with lineage and, getting paid to infinity on the diamond, generational? And how could we make this to where when affiliates come in, because that's what we are, right? Like, we're 1099, like, no one owns us, right? So when we come in, can we truly have an affiliate model where we feel like we're not handcuffed, like, where a company does not own us? And I was like blown away when she was asking these questions. I'm like, wow, I'm like, I've never heard a CEO speak this way before. I love this. Like, I'm all in branding. Like, they hired me, I was all in. And here's what happened. I kept leaning in. Every time I would ask a question for something I was coming up with for the company that I was branding, I was like, wait, what? And I was leaning in. And then I heard the mission and I was leaning in. And then she had me help with a compensation plan. Then I was like, okay, I love this compensation plan, paid on the real dollar. I got to be a part of making the compensation plan. Of course, I've leaned in more. And I'm like, well, I have to try the product because I'm branding the company. And so I'll never forget, my business partner Bryn Lang and we tried the product together. We were at an event and we were like giggling like giddy little girls, like at Party City, getting balloons. And Next thing I know, after the event's over, I have no product because Bryn stole it all and took it back with her to Mississippi. And I was like, this is crazy. So I just kept leaning in more and more and more and more. And that's the organic magic. No one convinced me that this is where I needed to be. No one had to convince me of this mission. No one had to convince me this product worked. No one had to convince me that there was timing, because it is that organic magic from the very beginning. And that's something that I think a lot of us that have been in the industry of network marketing or direct sales for a long time have always wanted to have is, where's the organic conversation we're excited to have every single day, and we don't feel like we're pulling teeth for somebody to take a look? And so I think about that magic and I get chills, like literally from head to toe, because that's how we're leading this. We're leading this charge. The reason we did 6,000 people in less than 60 days, and I'm talking 6,000 customers and affiliates in less than 60 days, is because of the organic magic. People feel so good that they can't stop talking about it. And that people want to feel good right now. You guys heard from Barb and you heard her story. I mean, and you heard why they created Frequence and all the frequency charge. But what you don't know is that when every time somebody comes on board, we hear the same things. We hear, where has this been? I want to feel better. I can't stop talking about this. That's it. We're not like, oh, come in, we're going to show you how to make $50,000. Like, there's no gimmick. There's no, here you go, let's build a massive team so you can make millions of dollars. We have the magic. So if that's what you want, go make more magic, and that's what you'll get. And that's what's been so incredible here. So when I made the decision with my best friend and with a couple of other, good friends of ours, we were going to come over, I said, I need to fly. I need to meet Terry LaCour. I need to meet Barb and, Dave in person. And I need to have real uncomfortable conversations with them. Like, I need to have the uncomfortable conversations, because I was done with network marketing. I'll just be honest with you. Like, I was done. I was like, I'm going to sit on my check, collect, and I'm good. Because I was tired of no transparency. I was tired of, over promising and under delivering. I was tired of formulations changing, compensation plans changing. I was tired of all all the stuff that it's not necessary, especially when you have magic. It's not necessary, right? So I get on a plane, fly to Texas. I remember being terrified, thinking, okay, who's going to know I'm in Texas? Nobody can know I'm in Texas. Nobody posts. I remember I wouldn't even touch my cell phone because I was so terrified I would accidentally answer something or post something accidentally. And so I'm sitting at this table and I'm sitting in front of this billionaire, Terry LaCour. Okay. I'm sitting with him and I am expecting this man to have ego. I'm expecting this man to be like, here's what we can, offer you, and here's what it is. Like, I was just expecting what I've kind of seen in the industry with males, just to be 100, just a bunch of egos. And sitting at that table, it's almost like when you hold the product for the first time, there was this like feeling like where I didn't have to be on defense in a conversation with him. I didn't have to protect, like put a wall up when I was having vulnerable conversations with him. That meant a lot to me, because in a lot of conversations with any kind of mentor that's been a male previously before, just so you know, like, I have had trust issues. I have had no transparency. I'm the worker and they're just sitting on top of me. And I just didn't want that here. I didn't want that here. I wanted the magic to just happen. So I'm sitting across from Terry LaCour and I'm like, listen, here's what I will tell you. I don't want any nonsense. I always need transparency. If there's a problem, I need to know so I can fix it, or we can come up as leaders as a solution to fix it. And I'm just looking to have a really good time. Like, I want to have fun. I don't want over promising and under delivering. I don't want product out of stock for 5 months because we're in momentum. Guys, we went out of stock for 5 days. We oversold 6 months worth of product in a 30-day period, and we should have been on back order for 6 months. Because of Terry LaCour, we were on back order for 5 days. And so these vulnerable conversations that I had with him sitting across that table, he has delivered on over and over and over and over. And it's all, here's my favorite part. There's never a beat around the bush conversation with corporate. This is me on a call saying, this is what we need. And they say, that's what you're going to get. And then it happens. It's been mind blowing. I honestly feel so honored that I've partnered with such incredible humans that have a mission that don't have egos. I mean, we all have little egos, but not an ego to where they think they know it all. They know they don't, and they want the collective of leadership from the field to become the best affiliate company out there with no handcuffs. And I felt that when I was there. And I remember leaving with this knot in my stomach of like, oh my gosh, I was supposed to be speaking on stage at my last company's event 2 weeks after my flight to Texas. I was supposed to be speaking in Paris in March. And so I had this weight on my shoulders of the expectations of what I was supposed to do for this other company. And it did not feel right. It didn't feel right. I didn't feel, one, getting on the stage in front of all these people, knowing that I wasn't all in, that was wrong. That just, the integrity that I had, like, it was wrong. And so, when we decided that we would resign, and we decided to resign and not get our last check, we assumed we would get it, but we knew we wouldn't. We resigned, so we missed our last check, and we canceled Paris, and we canceled, I don't remember where it was. Where was it? I don't know. Wherever the convention was supposed to be, and we took a lot of heat for it. But we knew that it was the right decision, because integrity-wise, getting on a stage in front of a bunch of people and pretending like this was the opportunity of a lifetime, I didn't feel that way anymore. And I hadn't for a long time, but all I could think about was this magic, was the goosebumps. My friend Sarah Lovelace calls them truth bumps. And I'll tell you guys, I tried to ignore Barb. I tried to ignore all the signs. I tried to ignore everything. And, I'm not trying to push my faith on you or anything, but I remember listening to one of my favorite pastors speak, and he said, you're in the in-between, and you're trying to make a decision in the in-between. But in the in-between is where the hard work is going to be to get to where the beautiful magic and the beautiful part happens. And he said, but the in-between doesn't have to be that hard. You just have to make that decision. And it was like, oh crap. Like, I just have to make that decision. And when I looked at the pros and cons of making that decision, the only thing that I kept coming back to was how I felt. I felt good on the products. I felt good when I met with Terry LaCour. I felt connected to Barb and her mission. I felt magic. I felt valued. I felt seen. And for the first time in a long time, I felt like I could share my story from stage and not be judged behind closed doors. Because there are a lot of companies out there that careers, companies, whatever, where they're like, we don't care how many tattoos you have, or we don't care, what your past is. And at the end of the day, behind your back, they do care. And we've got a level playing field here where it doesn't matter where you come from, what your past is. We want to elevate your frequencies so you are the best version of you while you're rising and vibing. And if that includes making money at the same time, awesome. If that's just the community for you, awesome. If that's just because, you love the products and you want to share, so you can get them for free, awesome. If it's like, I want this to be the biggest movement ever, I want to be a part of it, awesome. As long as you're rising and vibing, like, you're going to elevate. You're going to elevate. And that's the magic that we have here. And I'll just share this too. This is crazy. One of the things we always look for, and one of the reasons I was hired was for social media branding, going viral things. What are some things that'll make the company stand out besides my yellow nails? You can see the yellow Frequence hat. Their swag is just my new favorite F word, I say. That's just awesome. Like, it's beautiful. Barb's children are genius with the swag and the packaging, and it feels good, right? Like when you get it. And so they were talking about, what's the thing that we're going to do? And in my last company, I helped brand a spoon. I don't know why, but a spoon, and it just worked, and we went viral and whatever. And so it's like, okay, we got to have that thing here. And I remember sitting with my almost 14-year-old, and we were getting our nails done. And I'm like, what about a straw? And she's like, well, what do you mean, like a straw? And David brought it up to me, Dave Pitcock, about the straw. And I was like, well, what about a straw? Like a frequency tuned straw. And my 14-year-old's like, ew, you guys are going to get wrinkles. She's like Miss Ulta, Sephora. I have to take her shopping after this. Pray for me, please, because we spend like hours in Sephora because of TikTok shop. Thank you, TikTok. And so I'm like, okay, so what are we supposed to do? I'm like, straws. Yeah. And you go like this. And she's like, you need an anti-wrinkle straw. And I'm like, okay, I don't even know what that is. And so she like literally pulls up her phone and she's like, this is what it is. And she shows me this weird thing. And I'm like, that's so weird. And I'm like, oh, that's so weird. And so immediately I'm texting Dave and I'm texting Barb and I'm like, this is what it needs to be right here. And they're like, done, ordered 3,000 straws. And then they had them tuned. And we didn't realize how expensive it would be to tune these. Just to be clear, this straw right here, when you get it, we're going like this. It comes with a stopper. I just lost mine. But anyway, so we're stir, sipping, and slaying. And you're tuning whatever you're drinking because this is tuned for life. This straw is tuned for life. I'm pretty sure it costs somewhere around $60 to tune it, but that's okay. We don't care. But this right now is creating conversation of what is it? How do I get that? Well, you can't get this without rising and vibing. Right? So it's a conversation starter. And again, my 14-year-old got to be a part of creating something in this company. They knew it was my 13, 14-year-old. They knew it was her. And they didn't care. That's when you know you're in a place where magic's going to happen, when they don't care that a 14-year-old came up with an idea. It's magic. It's magic. So let me paint some vision for you really quickly of what I've put on hold to be all in with Frequence. I think it's important to know this. My brand, I usually have massive events, in-person events, I 3 million plus a year in my brand. And I put all of that on hold to fully launch Frequence, from corporate side to field side to opening countries to helping with product development to helping with back office to writing with the funnels to being the biggest part of the funnels and why the funnels and automation are going to be working. I put all of that on hold. And I told my husband, he thinks I'm crazy, but he knows when I go crazy, usually beautiful things happen. So he's accepted it by now. right? 2011 to now, he's kind of accepted and knows like, all right, she does what she says she's going to do. But I put all of that on hold because my goal is to develop the next leader, the next level of leadership in this affiliate model. And I'm not talking about level down. I'm talking about hundreds of levels down. I want to find the mom that missed her daughter take her first steps or missed something or missed a moment in her kid's life. And I want to share with her the magic that we have here that could help her get that back. For full circle moment, my 5-year-old, well, she'll be 5 on Thursday. She's over there on the couch. I was here on the floor with her when she was 10 months old, taking her first steps. Full circle moment. It was creepy because she was 10 months old and it was weird. She was like really little and I'm like a little Chucky doll running around. It was weird. But you guys, we have the magic to really tell someone, what do you want? Let us show you how you can get it. And so my goal with any of you that are watching this now is be clear with what you want from this opportunity. Let us know what that is so we can show you that path. We're not going to, paint a fake picture. There's always going to be transparency. But being in the beginning, I've never said that in this industry before. Even when people have said it to me, I've never said it about any company. You're in the beginning. You're in the beginning. I've never said that. I can honestly tell you that there are 2,000 active affiliates in North America and Canada. 2,000 active affiliates. I don't think I need to say ground floor. I don't even think there's a word for where we're at right now. On Easter Sunday, our team had the biggest sales day the company has ever had on Easter Sunday. And we told them not to work, just to be clear. I said, be with your family. You do not need to work, but they couldn't stop talking about it. They couldn't stop talking about it. That's the magic of what we have here. And so I'm excited for you, Leah. Like, I know how much you've put into your team, and I'm honored that you see the value in this and you see the magic that we have and that your leadership is here, because it's honestly, like, I get emotional thinking about it, but like, Leah, you are the type of person people pray to have in their organization to work with, because you are just such a servant leader and you're such a giver and you're so incredible and you're attracting the same type of people. And I cannot wait to see this team diamond, because I know that it's going to happen very fast with this team. And I'm just honored to be here with you guys. And I'm just excited for what the future holds.
So amazing. Does anyone have any questions? Maybe open up for a couple questions if anyone has questions for Marina.
Absolutely.
Drop them in the chat. I'm on both of the chats. What is your favorite product and why? That's my question. Of all the product line, what is your favorite product and why?
I'm supposed to hold on. I told you you have to wait until I'm done. My 5-year-old yelling at me. So that's a hard question. Okay, so let's start with my first rise. I was terrified of taking, so I didn't share this piece, but I'm bipolar, I have depression, I have anxiety. I'm on medications for all of those things. I don't believe like a blueberry can cure, so I'm just going to say that. Like, I don't believe anything can cure, prevent, or treat any disease. I have to say those things. But I've been, struggling with my mental health since I was 16, 15, 16, PTSD, all the things. I was terrified of nootropics. Any nootropic that I ever took made me feel sick, because it like would just make me like this. and then it would get me to the point where I'd feel so nauseous because it was like fighting against the medications, I guess. I don't know, I would say. So I was terrified to try the rides for the first time. Like I was terrified. I was like, oh my God, please. And I felt this calm focus. And when I tell you I wrote like 15 to 20 really good emails, like really good emails that day, I was like, is this stuff legal? I remember talking to my husband. My husband's like, babe, when I take this before softball, I feel like I can see the ball just coming at me. And then and I'm like, this is crazy. So first it was rides, right? I didn't really understand the source, the black fulvic, like I didn't get it, but I knew that it was good for you. So I put it in there. I swear that makes me not hungry. I swear it makes me not crave the crap, like because it's got all the minerals in it. But then I tried the zinc and I was like, nothing's going to help me. I take meds that knock me out. Like I have to. Like because I'm bipolar, I take a mood stabilizer. So I have to take it to knock me out. I'm like, this is not going to do anything for me. Like I take stuff, right? To be able to sleep. Otherwise I can't sleep. But I wake up groggy, like super groggy. So of course I try the zinc day one. I'm like, I don't know. Day two, at night I take it. I wake up the next day before my alarm clock. I don't feel like I was hit by a truck. And I felt just like refreshed. And I'm like, what the? Then I feel sick one day. Like I'm nauseous. I told you, like we had the stomach bug, we had the whatever, we were passing it back and forth. And Barb's like, go get the balance and put it under your tongue. It'll help you like this. And I'm like, yeah, right. This is me, by the way, total skeptic. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I went and did it, and it made me not nauseous anymore. So when you ask what my favorite, oh, and then the relief cream. I hear great things about it. I put it like where my sciatica is. I don't know. I'm about to be 40. So I put it here, so it really helps with that. But if I had to pick, I would pick Rise because I get a lot of work done and I feel so good. And then definitely the zinc because the amount of collagen that's in it, I didn't even realize the amount of collagen that's in it. Like it's making me young while I sleep. I'm in. All in for that. Like help me sleep better, feel better. Like those are my two faves.
Amazing. Michelle, did you have a question?
Yes, and Marina, thank you. You actually answered one of them just then because I'm really interested in the products for my daughter. And she was like, oh, just from what you're saying about them, and it's got CBD, and like, I don't know, because she doesn't drink and she doesn't take drugs. She's like, I don't know. So that was really cool to hear. But what I wanted to ask, because I just signed up tonight and there was the picture of one of the drinks, and everyone's talking about the mushroom drink, but then they say it's pink lemonade flavor. And I'm like, what do you mean? It looks like it's mushroomy, chocolatey, but
Yeah.
it tastes like pink lemonade. So this might
Yeah.
sound a simple question, but is it like a watery pink lemonade drink? Am I mixing two products up? Because it looks like a creamy, mushroomy latte
Yeah.
thing.
I love it. So it's mango lemonade. And yes, we do have other flavors that will be limited time that we will release. And we're going to have an unflavored one that we're working on because a lot of doctors want to bring this into their office and they want the unflavored one, right? So we will have that moving forward as the company grows. But it's literally like a ride stick. Well, we have sticks and we have tubs. Let me just grab this really quick. This one open. Of course, it's not open. All right, so let me open this one. So there's sticks, and it's just like, I don't know, powder. I don't know what you want to call it. But you put it in water and you shake it up and you just drink it. And it tastes like mango lemonade. It doesn't taste like mango at all because I hate mango. But the craziest part is you cannot taste any mushrooms. Like none. No mushrooms. And I will tell you, I hate mushrooms. I don't eat them. I don't like them. The thought of them make me gag. I'm just gonna keep it 100. I think mushrooms are the most disgusting thing in the world. So again, I was terrified to try this. And nothing, you can't even taste it. Now I will say some people like to make it as a mocktail and add like club soda to it. So then they have like water and the club soda after they shake it up. my best friend, she loves putting like flavored, she does, I don't know, what was it, liquid death, I think she said, like liquid death lime she likes putting in there. So you guys can get creative with it. You can do some cool things. If I want something fizzy, then I put some club soda in it. But I don't drink either. I don't drink. I'm on meds, so I don't drink, and I don't, no drugs or any of that stuff either. And I will tell you that my sister is bipolar as well. She's on ADHD medication, and she loves this. That's all I can't say anything else with that.
And that actually leads into my second question.
Yep.
And I know you've got a range potentially coming out in the future for children, but I was just wondering about these products for, let's say, people with ADHD. Is it a mood leveler? Like, does it help? And I know everyone has to consult their doctor. I understand that, but I'm just wondering, from that perspective, from that mood leveling, and obviously maybe not for kids right now, and some might choose, but if you've got any information around that, I'd be really curious too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on mood stabilizers. Like, that's what I take before bed. And when I take this, my husband doesn't aggravate me. My toddler screaming at me, I laugh. Like, it is a mood enhancer for sure. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
We have a question about the straws. Will the straws be available to buy separately?
As of right now, no, because we only have a limited amount. However, they are putting them into different packs. So they will be available in different packs where you will get, because there's going to be a pack that has the sign up fee waived, and this straw will be free in the pack, and they're working on that right now. So in the future, yes, but not right now.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. And we have Bryn in 11 hours. So we will have Bryn sharing her incredible story at my 8 a.m. at 8 p.m. Eastern. So everybody make sure that you come back for that. And there was a question about how do you get started? So how you get started is you go back to the person that referred you to this space and you ask them for their link. And you go in and you, at the very minimum, purchase your rise and your source so that you can be rising and vibing with everyone in the community. Get your hands on these products and start taking them. And I will be incredibly jealous until my product lands in Australia and I fly over to pick it up. That's how committed I am, you guys. Like, I'm literally flying to Australia to get my product. So yeah, that's how you get started. And if it was me that referred you to the group, you could just send me a private message, or just reach out to whoever it was that invited you to join us here. And so Marina, thank you so much. And thank you, just for everything, for the incredible support. And, I can tell you that this has been a really amazing experience coming into this company and having the upline support that we have in this team. So it's just like the alignment, the organic magic, everything that Marina shared. Like, I just have to echo, and I have to also just echo like how good it feels to be here. It's just like waking up in the morning, excited to check the groups, excited to be communicating with people. And it just feels good. There's none of the heaviness. There's none of the density. There's none of the ick. There's none of the, like Marina said, feeling like you have to force something on somebody. It's been easy. And it's, I like to talk about it as the universal current. So if you follow me, I'm like, you're either out of the current and you're drinking from the fire hose of life, and that's not a fun place to be, or you're in the universal current and you're in that beautiful golden flow. And that is what Frequence feels like to me. And I've been saying a lot and will continue to say that, like, my feeling about this company is that it's all heart and no hype.
Yes.
Like, it's not all heart, no hype.
Yes.
So if you want to be part of that, we would love to welcome you to the team. And we have so much more to be sharing with you over the next several days. We've got Angie Southers is going to be coming in and talking about leadership. Dr. Stephanie Rimka is going to be coming in and sharing about being unapologetically you on social media, which is one of my favorite things that she talks about. So I can't wait for that. And I'm going to be sharing some more on 7 streams and how actually to go about navigating having multiple streams of diversified income, how you do that in a way that you don't burn yourself out. So that'll be my next session. So I will see you. I'm going to bed. It's 9 o'clock. I'm going to go to bed. The last few days I've woken up with you guys and I've gone to bed with you guys, which I'm super excited about. And I can't wait to see Bryn bright and early in my morning. And yeah, so Marina, thank you so much. And thanks everybody for being here and investing 2 of your most precious resources, your time and your energy with us. We so appreciate it. Ciao.